Kia ora, ngā mihi ki te whare. Welcome to The House, ko Louis Collins aho. Occasionally, governments feel compelled to offer official apologies for past grievances. Parliament actually oversees Crown apologies semi-frequently when they're included with treaty settlement legislation. Nearly a year ago, the government issued the official Crown apology to survivors of abuse in state care.
Today I stand before you as the representative of not only this government, but of all the governments that have gone before us to offer a formal and unreserved apology for the abuse that you suffered while in state care, churches and other faith-based places. It was horrific. It was heartbreaking. It was wrong, and it should never have happened.
In any context, a simple sorry without meaningful follow-up can feel hollow, and that's especially true when governments are in the spotlight. That's why Crown apologies are usually followed up by tangible reconciliation efforts, things like new programs, compensation payments, or changes to legislation. Enter the
Responding to Abuse in Care Legislation Amendment Bill,
which reaches committee stage in Parliament this week. In a nutshell, the bill seeks to strengthen protections for children and young people in care. It does this by banning strip searches and instead requiring personalised search plans in secure Oranga Tamariki residences. It also introduces body scanner searches to prevent contraband, clarifies the maximum time young people can be held in secure care, tightens vetting for child-related roles, expands the definition of vulnerable adult to include disability, and enhances transparency in line with public record-keeping laws. Following a select committee period where many survivors of abuse in state care came to submit on the bill, it received its second reading in late July, during which all parties except for Te Pāti Māori supported it. Despite their general support, Labour and the Greens still take issue with some aspects of the bill.
The bill before us offers some small progress, and that's why Labour supports it, because at least some legislative actions this government is taking to address the findings in the Royal Commission into abuse in state care. Yet we have reservations about other aspects of the bill. So we are in a difficult position here tonight.
The Select Committee recommended several small changes, most of which are supported by a majority. In practice, that usually means that only the government members back them. But the Select Committee stage isn't the only chance MPs get to tweak a bill.
Madam Speaker, I will be bringing amendments to the committee stage to address some of the issues that I have spoken to today and others that have been raised by submitters, and we invite the Minister to consider them clearly.
The Greens have participated in good faith at the first reading, through Select Committee and second reading stage, and will continue to fight for this legislation to be better and more survivor-centred than how it is currently drafted.
The committee stage is where Parliament really gets into the fine print of a bill, breaking it down clause by clause. It's often the longest stage of the legislative process because there's no set time limit, so MPs can stretch the debate as long as they like. They can also propose amendments, changes to the bill, which are then voted on. To give you an idea of how detailed this stage can get, here's Green MP Timothy Paul questioning ACT's Karen Chor during the committee stage of the Responding to Abuse in State Care Bill on Thursday morning.
So on the time limits on detention and secure care, we've got an amendment paper which reduces the 72 hours to 3 hours, mostly because we're cognizant of the psychological and physical impacts that it can have on any human being who is detained in secure care for prolonged periods of time.
So I'll answer some questions around secure care and why time frame is needed. I just want to clarify, because it's been repeated a couple of times, that we landed on 72-hour time frame. Actually, this legislation will be deleting the 72-hour time frame to make sure that we're very clear that it clarifies that 3 days in secure care before court authority is required is what was landed upon, not 72 hours. The problem is that when you had two separate definitions, If a child or young person was placed in secure care at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday, that is day one. So when counting 3 days, they need to be out by midnight on the Thursday, in contrast to when counting 72 hours after 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. It is 6 p.m. On a Friday, 18 hours later than when counting 3 days. So we just want to make sure that they're not staying in secure care longer than they need to.
That bill completed its committee stage midday Thursday. Next stop, the third reading, when it will return to the House soon for its final vote. I te whakarongo koe ki te whare. You've been listening to The House, a program made with funding from Parliament's Office of the Clerk. Mā te wā.